Hey, Hasselmass Reviews is here, and today, well, this review has been a long time coming. Oh boy, Black Widow. I mean, it's not like I've been waiting, it's only just come out. But oh boy, everything that has happened. Originally set to be released in, I think it was May 2020, before pandemic, reshuffle of the schedule multiple times. It's been so many, we've waited so long for this. And just when I thought things would I could finally get in the theaters and see this, you guessed it, New South Wales is now in another lockdown. Well, okay, Sydney and Greater Sydney and living here on the Central Coast means I'm part of it. Trust me, I can go over why this is not right, but I'm not here to talk about that. So I decided to do something I wasn't planning on doing. When I got Disney Plus, I made a decision not to do the premium access thing where you can buy movies that are released in theaters on Disney Plus, to avoid the hassle. And well, because of how things went, I mean, we were meant to come out of lockdown actually the day before this would have been released in theaters, but it got extended and it's now been extended again. So yeah, I decided to do it. And what do I think of it? Well, for all the hype leading up to this film, and well, it's okay. Nothing perfect, anything. Never mind. I really do like it. I really do. And in many ways, it does feel better than the last time they had the MCU did a solo female movie in Captain Marvel. But then again, there is still problems, including the main problem that seems to pop up with me with Captain Marvel. The more I think about it, and the more I try to look back on it. So, what is the premise? Now, let's start with the big elephant in the room. We know this is a prequel, because as we know, in Avengers Endgame, Black Widow sacrifices herself to get the Soul Stone. So, what do they do? Is this a movie that explains her origin story? Well, yes. But is this a movie set before she even joined S.H.I.E.L.D.? No. This is set after the events of Captain America Civil War. But it's not exactly. Basically, let's go over it. So, in the wake of helping Captain America escape from the airport fire in Germany, Black Widow is escaping from Thunderbolt Ross and his military after she's been declared a traitor of the Sokovia Accords. So she originally planned to just run off and hide in no man's land, never to be seen again, as she feels it's best not to interact with any of the other Avengers, both for the Accords and fugitives of the Accords. That is until she's attacked by a mysterious villain known as the Taskmaster, who is after a mysterious case of red vials. She doesn't know, and when she looks inside to see who sent her the vials that she didn't know she had, it's from a person from her past, Yelena Belova, who is another Black Widow, and who's played by Florence Pugh, I think it's her name. But anyway, she comes across her and explains what's going on, and finds out that the Red Room, the organization that trained her to become the assassin that she is still active. So they decide to finally destroy the organization for good. And in order to do that, they need extra help. Well, they get in contact with their father another Black Widow, who they consider like their mother, and a father figure of theirs known as the Red Guardian, I think it is. Yep, yeah, I think that's his name. And yeah, you can guess where this goes. I mean, we know that she's going to win because, as we know, this is set before Infinity War and Endgame. So, but what we didn't know potentially is what these new characters would go. Because let's be fair, we know that Yelena Belova is going to be the new Black Widow, because, well, thanks to I think it was the Marvel Investors meeting showcase last year, we know she's going to appear in Hawkeye. So we're interested to see what could have happened with these characters, and in many ways, how it could set up future storylines. And it does do that, but there is a major issue with this, but we'll get to that. So what does work in this? Well, of course, one thing this does trump Captain Marvel over is that we have a better lead character. I mean, Natasha Romanoff is way better than Carol Danvers, and Scarlett Johansson knows this character so well, and her acting is perfect. And the other actors all do good jobs too. I mean, as I said, Florence Pugh is really good in her role, as are the others. And you know, we get good action scenes. They're not the best, but you know, they turn out to be pretty good. And I think what works well, the visual effects are pretty decent, but it's the camera shots that I think really stand out in this, especially in the final climax when Black Widow is skydiving. That we see that in the trailers, and that's actually a really good shot. There are plenty of other great shots in this too, where it's on certain characters or the backgrounds. They're really good. But of course we have problems, as I said. So I've already explained why the story is nothing special and is predictable. But I think what this film could have banked on most had it been released when it was originally meant to is the post-credits scene, which I think you can guess from what I described before does set up the events of Hawkeye. Well, a story arc in it. But, well, as we know, this got changed. And what would have come after Black Widow would have been the Disney Plus series The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is where we first meet Julie Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina Del Ferrende, I think it is. And she does appear in this, and meets up with Yelena Belova. So yeah, by changing the schedule does sort of dampen the effects of this post-credit scene, because had this been released when it was meant to, you know, could have been a bit more of a shock, you know. Which is why when I think everything up to Thor: Love and Thunder, I'm gonna change my rewatching of everything to when it was supposed to be released. I'm just saying. I'm not sure where I would include the likes of Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Miss Marvel. Maybe I'll think of something, but I'm just saying that's what I would consider. But yeah, and another thing that also hampers it is that when you look at the trailers, you think there are going to be elements that are going to be involved in this, more like Thunderbolt Ross. I thought for sure we're going to see more of him, and maybe even set up that maybe Red Hulk. He's actually learned to become Red Hulk, but we never get him. We only get maybe one scene in the beginning of the film and a brief shot of him at the end, and that's it. We don't even get any tease that he's sending up the Thunderbolts, which could have been. I mean, it's probably clear it's going to happen. Now if Yelena Belova and throw in John Walker, U.S. Agent, and whatever Valentina's up to, but yeah, it's strange. Plus, okay, we didn't know for sure whether this would have happened, but apparently, as far as we knew, going into this to about a week until this was released, Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to appear as Tony Stark, but he never appears in it. So, was this miscommunication or something else? I don't know. But for what it is, Black Widow is actually pretty good, and you know what? I give it credit. It does feel good to finally watch an actual MCU movie, a new one. hopefully, if I get the chance when theatres open up here in New South Wales, here where I am again, I will go see it. Well, I would be a top-up of watching this in theatres or trying to see Space Jam, but I think I might still watch this, honestly, because if what I've heard about Space Jam is true, may not be a good option. But for what it is, it's fine, but it's nothing special. But I say just give it a go, and if for people who've been waiting for this film for a long time, you probably won't be disappointed. So I'm going to do this 7.5 out of 10 hat stars. So what's next? Well, I think I'm pretty much going to have to do Loki next. Now the first season's over. But as what I was originally planning, that is going to happen. But I think I might as well get Loki done right away, then move on to that. And you know what? I'm going to see if I can get the Loki video done in a couple of days, actually. But in the meantime, House of Reviews is out. I'll see you later for Loki. Ciao.